Weight and hunger and Whole Foods. Huge controversial topic right now, right? And not just right now, but for a while. There's been conversations about food deserts for at least a decade, and you can go back and look at different TED Talks on food deserts. There's one in particular, give me just a moment, I'll look it up and tell you the name of it and who the speaker was. Found it. Ron Finley, a guerrilla gardener in South Central LA, TED Talk. Look it up, watch it. It's amazing. It's also 11 years old, so that should tell you how long this thing about whole foods and healthy nutrition has been going on. It's been so long. In fact, it's currently February of 2025. I started a Whole Foods cleanse, 28-day cleanse, weight loss program for people in June of 2014, based on some research that I was doing on autoimmune disorders and metabolic syndrome and stuff like that. This comment is also from a video where I've been told, I think 100 times in the comment section, that I'm not qualified to give the advice that I was giving. You can watch the follow-up to that as well that was posted today on February 11th. But one of the biggest problems that we have is that I think it was about a decade ago, I watched a Today Show clip where this woman said, oh, I lost 60 pounds in 5 months eating whatever I wanted on the weekend, but not eating anything Monday through Friday. So she was starving herself 5 days of the week and only eating 2 days of the week. And I don't use the word starving lightly. She was literally starving herself 5 days a week so that she could eat whatever she wanted on the weekend and still lose weight. One of the problems that we see is that there, particularly with young females, is so much influence from influencers on social media, from the Kardashians and the show like Revenge Body, from different outlets that attack women for being a certain size or make them think that they aren't good enough because they might be a certain size. And while we know that there is a healthy body weight, and that healthy body weight happens to do more with your waist to hip ratio than it does BMI, we are still using BMI as a standard for categorizing normal, obese, morbidly obese people, which is kind of ridiculous because at my current body weight and height and how much muscle I have on my body, I'm almost in the obese category, believe it or not. And I'm 5'8", I weigh 150 pounds, and I have 20% body fat. My waist is 31 inches, my hips are 42 inches. So obviously my waist is smaller than my hips. I'm not obese. But diet culture is still a thing. Even though we know that diet culture doesn't help anybody, it's still a thing. Why was this girl fasting for, she said she hadn't eaten anything since like lunch the previous day, so 36 hours. Why was she fasting for 36 hours? Based on the clothes and the shoes she was wearing, it was not a financial issue. Also based on, the expensive nails she had on, not a financial issue. So why was she doing it? And on top of that, when I asked the question, what have you eaten today? And she said, nothing. I know this is my fault. I should have eaten something. I know I was supposed to eat before I went. Like, she went on the defensive real quick. So for some people, these food deserts are a problem. In this situation, it was not. She was actively doing something that she knew she wasn't supposed to do before she went in for this. And my guess is it has a lot to do with diet culture in the US. Based on some conversations I've had in the last couple of days and what I've seen over the last 6 months come across my inbox, come across my client consultation calls come across my free calls, I believe that another problem is the weight loss drugs. And come for me in the comments if you want, but listen to this and understand why. I had a client, 26 years old, stress fractures in both feet, both tibias. The tibia is the large bone in the part of the leg below the knee. Wasn't sure why she couldn't continue training at the level that she had been. She was 5'5" and 100 pounds. And when I asked her to just turn in a 5-day food log, her average calorie intake a day was 400 calories. She was going to yoga, hot yoga, every day for an hour, surfing for an hour 3 times a week, lifting weights 3 times a week, and running every day for at least 5 miles. Some of those runs were up to 20 miles. She was training for the Boston Marathon. When I asked her about her food intake, because her reason for all of her injuries had to do with the fact that she was malnourishing herself, a med spa had given her Ozempic because she had 10 pounds of fat she wanted to get rid of, and she just couldn't seem to lose it. 28-year-old female this morning went to a med spa, got a prescription for one of the drugs, I think it's Zepbound, because she too has 10 pounds to lose. She's my height, about my weight, works out 3 times a day for an hour. One of those is just cardio, one of them's a weightlifting session, one of them's a HIIT session. Drinks on average 2 bottles of wine a night, can't seem to lose that last 10 pounds. The only good thing about Zepbound, it'll probably take away her desire for alcohol, but somebody gave her a prescription when she doesn't need it. 29-year-old female trying to get pregnant is told that she's in menopause, so she's not going to be able to have a baby. She doesn't understand why she's in menopause when her blood work a year ago was fine. She was placed 8 months ago on Ozempic to lower the noise for the desire for alcohol because she was stressed out because she had a miscarriage by her psychiatrist. Great use of the drug. It lowers your desire for alcohol, but it also brought her down to forcing herself to eat 1,200 calories a day. She was still trying to exercise. She runs a business. She was super stressed out, and hormones out of control. Can't get pregnant, can't carry a baby to term. It's way too easy for someone to get their hands on this medication for all of the wrong reasons. And for the people who do need it, because peptides are a thing that your body can utilize for anything. And it can be good or it can be bad when you overdose it, right? And that's the cases that I'm seeing, the cases that I'm trying to correct. But what it's also doing is feeding into the significant amounts of body dysmorphia and allowing these people to be anorexic without having to claim that title because the drug just makes them not hungry. That said, there are benefits to fasting for 36 hours. In fact, if you're going to do a fast, you have to hit 17 hours to see most of the benefits that occur. And up to 72 hours is a really great idea for a lot of people who are metabolically stable. However, when you're going in to donate blood, it is put on all the information that you are to eat before you come in for this exact reason. And I know people are going to say maybe she had to sell her blood. Again, the clothes that she was wearing, the nail set that was on her, I don't think that was the issue. She knew she had done the wrong thing as soon as she hit the floor. And luckily she didn't actually hit the floor. But whole foods, clean foods, look at the food deserts. It is a problem.